book says this: we have been chosen for a mission to bring the message of the one omnipotent God to mankind. Well, Einstein certainly didn't fulfill that mission, nor did Freud or Karl Marx or Harry Houdini or Steven Spielberg or Bobby Fischer or Barbara Streisand. None of them did it. Could it be that maybe we're barking up the wrong tree? Could it be that maybe it's the rabbis, the religious Jews, who are called to fulfill the mission and make God known to the ends of the earth? We're talking about, on this show, Jewish influence on world culture. Jews, world changers. Is there any kind of special mission? Have we made the world a better place, a worse place? So first, out of curiosity, are any famous Jews you can think of? Who comes to mind?
I have none.
Nobody?
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg, all right. Hollywood. Anybody else in Hollywood? Goldie Hawn.
Adam Sandler.
Everybody knows Adam Sandler, Steven Spielberg. But did you know they were all Jews?
No.
No, didn't know that. All right, see, you're going to learn something today.
Yes.
Okay, what about other areas where you think Jews have had an impact on society?
I think they have an impact everywhere. I mean, in science and literature, there's all these kind of great people. I mean, Albert Einstein, you know.
Albert Einstein, he was Time Magazine's Person of the Century. So, for every 500 people on the earth, how many of them do you think are Jews? One Jew for every 500 people. Yet we're all over Hollywood, sciences, literature, famous novelists. We're all over the place. So how is it this tiny percentage of the people has had such a massive influence in society? Any ideas?
I think it's because they had so much struggle. I mean, coming over from different countries, being kind of in immigrant status, they had to kind of prove their worth. They had a lot of ambition growing up.
Right.
They tried to overcome whatever obstacles they had. So maybe that gave them an impetus to...
There's no question that when you're the underdog, you have to fight, and then often in society we're persecuted, we're misunderstood. That's true, but there's a problem. Even when we get established, we still have this kind of influence. I mean, Adam Sandler, Steven Spielberg, they weren't immigrants, and yet they continue to have this big influence. So I have a question for you. I'm not sure if you believe what's written in the Bible or not, but according to the Bible, Jews have a special mission given by God. You know what that is according to the Bible? No idea.
Well, everybody usually has a mission. Everybody that comes from other states come here to make a mission. It's not only
Everybody has a certain mission.
Right.
Like in an orchestra, everybody has a specific instrument to play. But what do you think the mission of the Jews is? According to the Bible, the scriptures. I mean, the Bible, it's a Jewish book. So according to the Bible,
no idea, to convert others,
change the world. Change the world, yeah.
Nation.
If the Jews worship the one true God, I mean, we were monotheists, everybody else was worshiping idols. Part of our mission now is to make God known to all the nations. So we've had influence, Hollywood, science, literature, great medical advances, all that. But have we succeeded in our real mission, making God known to the ends of the earth?
That's probably not. That's hard, you know, because there's so many other religions. They're like so much more popular, like in Asia, you know, like Buddhism or Hinduism. And, you know, like every continent or every part of the world has its own major sort of religion. Even there are other religions around.
Exactly. Who is it then that's like the missionaries? They go around the world, they tell everybody believe in the one true God. And
I think the Christians, not the Jews.
Christians, oh, but hang on.
Christians were originally Jews.
Christians are originally, now we may be on to something here. Can you think of any famous Jews or anything Jews have contributed to society?
Well, in the arts, I mean, which is my field, it's crammed with Jewish people,
Really?
And they've contributed a huge amount.
Do you know for every 500 people in the world, how many of them do you think are Jews?
For every 500, how many?
Take a guess.
Like about 250?
Oh, half the world are Jews? That'd be a lot. That'd be a lot.
About 5.
5. Actually, there's only one Jew for every 500 people in the world. The Jews do a whole lot of stuff. You think there's a special mission for the Jewish people in this world?
They're capable of, because I know a lot of them do a lot of good stuff, and there's nice people. So it's a possibility.
Yes,
Do you have any?
I think, you know, their religious ethics demand, I'm not Jewish, but I think that demands something that the best as Lorraine was saying. They make a point of contributing.
You know, I'm thinking about what these people had to say, and it's very interesting. In fact, 3 things strike me. Number 1, there is that disproportionate influence of the Jewish people upon world culture. Nobody can seem to deny it. In fact, one of the women that I spoke with is actually an art photographer for the New York Times, and as soon as we were off camera, she started to spout off names of Jews in music and the arts. But then there's that second recognition, and it seems that Gentiles and Jews both seem to have this, which is the Jews have a special calling. The Jews have a mission, and it's a mission to make the one true God known. In fact, they're called to be witnesses. People were at home with that concept, but witnesses testify to what they've seen and heard. And that leads me to the third point. They also seem to recognize that religious Jews are not primarily interested in telling the rest of the world about the one true God. In fact, the more religious a Jewish person is, it seems the less interested they are in spreading the news to the rest of the world. Very interesting. Something to think about.
A famous rabbi.
Yeah, Maimonides, Rashi, Hillel. Oh, we have a great rabbi in Israel by the name Rabbi Yonah Metzger. He's smart, intelligent, and working with the Jewish people for today, for the modern world.
No, I can't think of any.
Famous rabbis? What do you mean, like Jehovah's or something like that?
Rabbis, Jews.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you.
I can name a famous rabbi. His name is Rabbi Shmuley from Shalom in the Home, and I'm a huge fan.
Great, thanks a lot. Let's be honest. Most Americans today couldn't give this the name of a single influential rabbi. They know the names of the actors and the entertainers, but religious Jews, rabbis? Ask them which rabbis brought the knowledge of God to the ends of the earth in the last 100 years or 500 years, or better yet, go to India and Africa and ask the people there which rabbis and religious Jews brought the knowledge of the one true God to them. In fact, I'm speaking as a Jew myself, we've sometimes done better at spreading atheism than the knowledge of God. From Karl Marx in his day to Jews today like Sam Harris, the author of The End of Faith, and Christopher Hitchens, the author of God is Not Great, How Religion Poisons Everything, to the late astrophysicist Carl Sagan, who was a champion of religious skepticism. In fact, a recent poll from Baylor University indicated that while 6% of Americans deny the existence of God and are atheists, 8% of the Jewish population in America said that they're atheists. That means we deny the existence of God more than the rest of the American population. Certainly, you cannot say that we have succeeded in our mission to be a light to the world and to bring the knowledge of God to the ends of the earth. It would seem that we failed in our ultimate calling as world changers. Unless there's one Jew that we failed to consider. One Jew that outshines Einstein, Marx, Freud 1,000 times over. One Jew whose name is known in every nation of the world, in fact, who has brought the knowledge of God to the ends of the earth, to every nation and people. Who is this Jew that we failed to consider? Who do you think is the most famous Jew of all time? Ah, surprised you.
That's tough. Einstein?
I'd say Golda Meir.
Yeah, he's an actor. Wow. My brain's going blank.
To tell you the truth, I don't know anyone.
You don't know any?
I don't know anyone.
Who do you think is the most famous Jew of all time?
Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus?
Let me introduce you to the most influential Jew of all time. The most famous Jew of all time, a man who literally changed the course of the world. Most people know him as Jesus, but his Hebrew name is Yeshua. He was a rabbi, not a reverend. And the reason he's called Christ is because Christ is the Greek way of saying Messiah. Yeshua the Messiah, he's one of us. Through Yeshua and his faithful band of followers, men like Peter, Paul, John, all of them Jews, the knowledge of the one true God has gone to the ends of the earth. There are people that have thrown away their idols, and they've thrown away their false religion, and they've thrown away their anger and their hatred, and they've turned to the one true God through him, Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. He's the ultimate world changer. He's the one who fulfills our destiny as Jews. And it's time that we reclaim him as one of our own.
All right.
Can we ask you a quick question on camera?
What is the question? And then I'll give you my answer.
Okay. All right, well, I'll ask you, and if you don't like it, you don't have to be on camera, okay? So the question is, who is the most famous Jew of all time?
Who's the most famous? Jesus?
Jesus. Perfect. Too bad you don't win any money for this. Okay. The question is, who do you think is the most famous Jew of all time?
Jesus.
Jesus. You nailed it. Thank you.
Did I?
Now, how come you knew that he was a Jew? How come you didn't think of him as a Gentile?
Because I work in a church. I know lots of things. Okay.
Any religious figures that are Jewish that are really famous?
David.
David? Okay, that's a good. Anybody else? That's late in the day, hard to think. How about Jesus?
Yeah, he was Jewish.
He was Jewish. Oh, okay. Okay, so he's always been a Jew.
Yes.
So that would make him the most famous Jew of the whole world.
That would.